A salary is the drug they give you when they want you to forget about your dreams, because it's very easy to stay in that world where somebody is mitigating your risk. You just have to perform certain tasks, do them well for a third of your day, and they will feed you a salary.
You are now rocking with the one and only Africa Allah. And this is Being Africa Allah, here for another episode of the Matrimony chapter. That's what it is, season 27. We are here in the Matrimony chapter, and I have introduced you to my husband, DJ Trill. Trill, let him know what it is.
Yep. What's up? It's the mild-mannered one.
The mild-mannered one. You know, I've always took interest. I like that intro where it says that salary is a way to get you to stop dreaming. You know, because once you're paid a salary, all of your needs are met. However, I think that a salary is a crutch to not allow you to actually see what your true value is. Because people are going to pay you what they want to pay you. They're not going to pay you your worth. And if someone can pay you your worth, then like what's the reason to dream? Because you're being paid your worth, you're comfortable, you're complacent, you have you don't want to take any risks, you're not willing to do things outside of your comfort zone because everything that you need is being taken care of.
Who told you that lie? Because if that salary's low, you just getting up and going to work just because of them bills. So
yeah, and that is how people get you into. Listen, let me tell you. I worked at one point. I remember I was working at FedEx. I shouldn't have said it. I was working at a company. Well, I already said it. The cat's out the bag.
too late.
So I was working at this company, right? And I got sick.
You already said the name of the company.
Whatever.
So
Well, listen, man. Let me tell the story. And I got sick. And my manager said I can get XYZ days off. I said, okay. I came back and they said, well, oh, you better do. And I'm like, are you threatening me? Because on my side hustle, I make more than I make here. And I had just started my company. You know, I probably was about 2 years in. And I was making more money doing that on the weekends than I was making at work. But the work money was, you know, the shore money. It was the health insurance and all the other things that was helping me with me being sick. But the fact that this MFer decided that he wanted to threaten me and tell me that I needed to XYZ because XYZ and I got them kids to feed, I looked at him like, you really have no idea who I am. And you know what I did? I politely said, thank you, no thank you, walked out, and have never looked back since. And that was 18 years ago. And I have been working for myself for the last 18 years, paying all of my bills, traveling around the world, and doing something that I enjoy doing, waking up every morning happy. So sometimes people put you in a space where they think they have you by the balls. But once you understand what your true value is, you never have to worry about that.
if you say so.
Yeah, but it's also about taking calculated risk.
Well, I don't know nothing about that risk yet. So the only risk I took was marrying you.
And there we go. Here's straight to it. Welcome to the Matrimony chapter with yours truly, Africa Allah and DJ Trill. We're going to get into it today. There are 5 questions that
Lord.
you
Here we
should
go.
ask each other prior to marriage. Now, prior to marriage, I did ask you a series of questions.
You asked me 30 questions, so don't go there talking about a series. You asked 30.
It was a series of questions.
That was not serious.
Well,
That was an onslaught.
Whatever. Well, if you're thinking of getting hitched, they say that there are 5 essential questions for you and your partner to talk through first, openly and honestly. So we're going to talk about it openly and honestly here on the air with you guys. If you guys have any comments or feedback or just want to interject some of the things that you and your significant other talked about prior to getting married, or if there are things that you wish you had talked about, go ahead and chime in. Leave your comments. Let us know what you think. Share the information on social platforms when you see, the little blurbs pop up. Right about now, is there anything that you or I are not willing to give up once we're married?
Yeah, candy. Candy.
Now, this question gets you at your non-negotiables and respecting each other for the needs in order to thrive, right?
Right.
Identify your core needs and what's driving them. And then make sure you and your partner are aligned on being a part of your life. There are some things that I'm just definitely not willing to give up. Like,
Candy.
I thought about it. Right? At one point, I was going to dissolve my company and take on a 9-to-5. But in the core of my DNA, I am an entrepreneur. I was raised to be an entrepreneur, to think independently, to solve problems, and just to do things, I'm not cut from the cloth that allows me to go and sit in a room for 8 hours and bullshit with people that I'm not interested in and do things that bore me for the majority of the day. So that's like one of the things that I'm not willing to give up. I think that I've compromised and given up a lot of things.
Like what? May I ask?
People, friends, relationships. I may not have cut people off, but people have cut me off as a result of
This marriage.
because they feel that they're no longer necessary in my life, and or they feel that our relationship, theirs and mine, will compromise our relationship as married people. But I don't think people understand that, like, I prioritize my marriage and my husband. So regardless of what my prior feelings were or how we engaged and interacted before, you're my husband. And I don't think I'm as fickle as most women that are led by their vulva.
They who? You talking about they Volvo? What the? What in the world?
So, on your end, what are some of the things that you're not willing to give up once you get married?
For me, it's this music thing. I can't give that up. You gonna have me sitting around here moping and looking crazy? That's not happening.
Well, I mean, music was never.
But I'm willing to give up my 9-to-5 though, or my 7-to-3, whatever you want to call it.
Okay, well, hey, but you have to find something that's going to be just as valuable or better.
We gotta find something that pay more.
You definitely have to be willing to take risks and take a chance on yourself. But those are calculated risks that you take when
everything's moving right.
No, everything don't have to ever move right, because nothing will ever move.
They gotta move in the right direction, right?
Things don't ever move right.
The first button to have it moves right, then after that you gotta figure it out, correct?
Like right now, you gotta figure out some things. Can
Yeah,
you handle
I do.
me doing things without you? We all have.
Yeah.
We all have simultaneous needs for connection and autonomy. These opposing needs both always exist. If you find a balance with your partner, if you cannot find a balance with your partner, it's a red flag that they don't want you to have autonomy. So, can you handle doing things without me?
Yeah, I can. I can do that, but sometimes I do want you by my side.
Okay. I'm good. Like I've been alone for the
A very long time.
majority of my life. Even in crowded spaces, I've been alone. So I have no problem doing things alone. Now there are certain things that I would like to experience with you. However, I ain't gonna lie. I feel like the certain things that I want to experience with you and that you opt out on, I might be a little salty.
Why you gonna be salty about that?
No, but I can tell you. I can be like, look here. I
Yeah.
pulling out the whole fucking ocean for you. I can be like, look.
Oh, so you gonna drain the whole ocean for me just to
I,
get your way, right?
no. I just can let you know that I'm a little salty about it. Like this is something that I really wanted. I was looking forward for us to do together, and I'm disappointed. And then you would have to tell me why you opted out, and I would have to accept your reasons.
And then I'm gonna have to try to come up with a compromise so you can be happy.
I don't think it's that. I just think it's.
Don't be.
I think it's more so that you having an open, honest conversation about things that upset you.
It's not upsetting. It's things I'm not gonna try. Plain and simple. But I will try to compromise for you.
Which you're not gonna try.
That's on a different subject, all right? That goes around in a different atmosphere in different categories. So
Okay, when conflict arose, did your family use silent treatment, calmly discussing disagreements, or slam doors? Having discussions before you're ready to fight, or you're already in a fight. Your first lesson in conflict were from your family where we grew up. This becomes our default mood of handling disagreements unless we intentionally work on changing it. So again, when conflict arose, did your family use silent treatment, calmly discuss disagreements, or slam doors? Go.
for me, they didn't listen to me. So for me, my category was silent treatment. I just go into silent mode. They didn't want to listen to what I had to say. So back then I was like, okay, whatever. It is what it is. Now, since I got married, I'm trying to talk this through, okay?
No, you still is do that. You still is go in silent mode and be
A
inside
little
your
bit,
shell
a
like
little
a turtle.
bit, a little bit, and I'll come and talk to you, right or wrong.
After I say, what going on? Why you look so? Why your face look like this? What going on?
Yeah, I got a million things running through my head.
Yeah,
You
but
got to give me time to process it.
I can tell you, I don't
Just
have the
because
patience.
you talk.
But I don't, like I get to a point where I can be like, babe, I ain't in the fucking this. And I just will, like, when you see me stop talking, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, but when you say you ain't into this, what I say? Let's ride.
I say, you can't be a turtle in your shell. You have to speak. And sometimes if you say, okay, give me a minute, that'll give you the opportunity to process the thoughts so that the wrong words don't come out. But I ain't gonna tell you no lie. Like at one point in my life, I had a horrible temper, and it had everything to do with the fact that I was raised with one understanding, but treated differently from the way I was raised. I was taught and told to do certain things, but those things only were relevant when they didn't apply to the leadership of the household. And it's like I needed to be a snitch, but just not on her. And so the frustrating things came when, like you said, nobody's listening to you and you're constantly telling the truth. And then you're being chastised for telling the truth. So me, I had a temper because ain't nobody gonna be touching me or doing things to me, and I done tell you and you not listening to me. So who can hear can feel? And I don't have problems throwing hands. But as an adult, after I was apprehended for aggravated assault for XYZ amount of hours, and I sat in that tiny cell, oh God, let me tell you how my outlook on life changed.
I got a gangster.
You should already know. Because I'm quick to be like, babe, let me take care of this. Listen,
Yeah.
because I will rattle off, listen.
You already displayed that to me, so.
Ain't nobody going to be talking to me sideways.
But you had to grab me first, because I was getting ready to go ham.
So, but as a person that studied communication and social and sociology and human sexuality, I've learned how to speak calmly, breathe, then state my opinions or thoughts. Sometimes I have anxiety attacks when I'm trying to express myself, and I'll start to breathe very heavy. But I've learned to communicate, and I feel like this is something that I want to work. And so as long as I want it to work, I will continue to work on it. But as soon as I'm frustrated, tired, and ready to give up, I will no longer work on it. I will shut the fuck up and shut down. So we also have to be aware of when those points are happening. And this is on both ends, when you're no longer willing to talk or open up. That's when it becomes detrimental, because being in a relationship is a two-way street. If we're not engaging with each other, then we're individuals just existing amongst each other. And that's no fun. That's definitely no fun.
No, especially when you want to get a little sleep in and you constantly waking me up.
What?
Don't be wetting me. I do want to get my little nap in here and there. I don't sleep. You think I'm asleep, but I'm not.
What is the most you'd be willing to spend on a lamp or a pair of shoes or a pair of jeans? Talk openly, early, and often about what money means to each of you. Because most of the time, money is not about the actual dollar and cents if you have enough to meet your basic needs. It's about the emotions behind it. So again, what is the most that you're willing to spend on a particular item, and why?
Shoes $250, lamp I'll give it $100. Jeans no more than $50.
In my case, I feel that it's about what value that particular product is going to add to the household and or your brand identity. I think that I was raised that all you have in this life is your name, and your name is essentially your brand. And while we may not view ourselves as businesses, that's what we are. When we go out, we represent ourselves as the McSwains, the Trills, Individually, we represent ourselves as Africa Allah, DJ Trill, whatever entity that we are part of, right? So when we are investing in our brand identity, the products that we purchase should be a reflection of our ideals. I'm not going to spend an absorbent amount of money on shoes and outer gear to impress anyone. However, if it has my brand, meaning my name or my logo on it, then I have no problem investing whatever it is to produce those textile products. I don't like a bunch of furniture because I don't want people to feel like they could come to my house. So ain't gonna be no fucking lamp. You can live in the dark. You can want to leave. If you don't have owl eyes, you can't come over. Sorry. I get 2 lamps. And I know how much I pay for them way back when. The things that I pay money for are my computers, my turntables, my speakers, my headphones, and my brand identity. And I think that being in a relationship with somebody that is in the same industry as I am, I don't think that there is a quarrel or qualm with the expenses that we would spend, because ultimately we're purchasing it as a collective. So it's not an individual expense.
No, it's not. It's a saved expense
So if
for
I
the
buy a
business.
$500 microphone or a $2,000 microphone,
I'm gonna ask you, what in the world is $2,000 microphone gonna do for us? Is it gonna be traveling with us, or is it gonna be sitting in the house?
no, I buy a $2,000 microphone. That shit better
It
do
better talk
wonders.
back. It better talk back.
Talk to me, baby.
It better.
But yeah, I'm just saying. I'm being
The only thing $2,000 is gonna probably be spent on is a speaker, and that's if I can't find it used.
well. I don't want anything used.
If it's in good condition,
See, there we go. There we go now.
what?
Again, and you know what? And those are things that we have to look at when we're looking at expense and cost.
If we don't
I'm
have
one of-
that $2,000
okay,
right there,
So I'm one of the people. I'm under the idea, right? I don't like billables. Like, I don't like monthly bills. I would prefer to pay for everything annually. So I would pay for it in one lump sum, so I can get it out of the way, or pay for a 5-year subscription as opposed to paying monthly, because of the way my contracts work. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
some months I don't have contracts, but I still have those bills. But if I get rid of it up front, I don't have to worry about that bill.
and speaking of a bill, there it go, right then and there. Keep going. I'm not messing with that.
Somebody forgot to turn on their phone. All
Yeah,
right.
I did. My fault. My
All right.
fault.
So this is a conversation that we've had numerous amounts of times.
Hey, I forgot. Okay, you gotta give me that one.
That's fine. This is a conversation that we've had numerous amounts of times, and I've stood my position on this. If we have children, are you willing to take change, disappear? I'm sorry. Listen, I don't even like the whole concept of, like, from it say if you having children, like,
you caught a flashback.
everything just
Caught a
listen.
flashback.
Are you willing to change diapers at 3 a.m. and miss important meetings if your kid is sick?
I'm gonna have to.
Most couples go into marriage wanting to share tasks equally, but many heterosexual couples, in particular, discover over time with households, chores, and raising children, some of the more traditional gender roles may sneak in. It's not a surprise that research shows the happiest marriages partners share mundane or stinky responsibilities of life equally. The question
Keyword
comes down
stinky.
to respecting your partner's time, talents, and needs. Again, if you were to have children, hold on. This question don't even apply to us.
No, it don't. But I'm just saying.
We are geriatric.
We
It was a
need-
reason why I got married at this stage in my life.
We need
Because
Bengay to get out of bed.
I felt that at this stage in my life, whomever I got married to would have to be just as geriatric as me and would not have the desire to have children because they wanted to live out the rest of their lives. Now, I found the rarest of the rarest freaking unicorns. A person that has never been married nor has a baby mama. Not
Woohoo.
my fault. You know,
Nah, it's not your fault.
I wanted somebody that didn't have any drama and was educated and enjoyed the same things. How would I know a DJ out of all of the professions? Well, listen, I'm not interested in children. I did it, don't want to do it. I don't want to talk about my experiences as a mother or going through the birthing process or child rearing or any of that stuff. It's not for me. Motherhood is not for me. I am, however, a nurturer, and everybody in my circle can depend on me, but I don't want to go through the heartache of raising a child. And we had a conversation about this in depth for many, many, many weeks when we started talking about
We did.
marriage.
We did.
And the reason that I didn't get married before this is because I felt that it would be unfair to whomever that I got with to not want to have a child. So at this geriatric stage in my life, I figured that it would be okay to get involved with somebody because they would be just as geriatric as I am. I know that. I just called you old.
That's all right. I'll take the oldness. But I did want a kid, but
And I've given him the ultimatum that he can have a kid.
But that's not me. Can't
With
do it outside.
someone
No, sir.
else.
Nope. Mm-mm.
If that is his decision. I don't want to deny him of the joy of having a kid.
But that means I have a baby mama with drama. Don't want that.
No. You wouldn't have a baby mama with drama because if you establish your relationship and understand what the position is, then there wouldn't be any drama. I think that we just adapt these hood mentalities of relationships. There's a way to have clean, open relationships without having any drama. Again, open and honest communication is the only way to get past any of these ideas. Stop living under these stereotypes. That's one of the things that irk me. Like, you still cling on to stereotypes, and I am not your typical woman. I am not your typical black person. I'm not your typical Caribbean person. I am me.
Duh.
So, there's gonna be. First of all, I don't do drama.
I don't either.
I don't do drama.
And I don't want that. So to eliminate all that process, not deal with it and not have it.
So let's bring it up because you're saying that you wanted to.
I wanted to, yes.
So are you telling me that those desires have gone now that you've is that, are you sure that there's no void in your life like you said you wanted to?
I wanted to. There's a void, but oh well. 2 tears in a
No,
bucket.
no, no, no. That's unfair.
I'm not.
That's
No, it's not
unfair.
unfair because I got a wife now who don't want that. So
Yeah, but
I love my wife.
That's a big compromise.
That's a big compromise. I love my wife. I love her dearly. So I made that compromise. Okay.
I don't know. I don't know how comfortable I feel with that. I feel
Well,
like
don't.
I feel like that's something that we have to look back into in another 12 to 15 months.
Nope. We too old. We can't be running around a rug rat. Talking about, come here. Time for your diaper to get changed. Come here, boy. We good. Oh, Lord, my knees hurting.
Well, I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah, you gonna sit right
No,
there.
no, no. I'm gonna let you know. Like, I'm dead ass. Like, if I was to be put into that situation, I will be 100% attached because I'm not interested. And if I do that, it would be me doing it because you want it, and that would be my compromise. But I would not be interested in any part of that child's life and or rearing. You would be 100% responsible for feeding, clothing, bathing, all of that.
And that's why I say, no, we're good.
Oh boy.
No, boy, why
And
gotta be on that?
and I hope you didn't say yes because you wanted the ring.
Huh?
I hope that you didn't compromise on that particular fact because you wanted the ring, you wanted the relationship. Like I'm 100, like I've been 100% standing on that for years.
And I know that. So there ain't no need for me to go back and forth with this.
All right. If you're
You stand on that, and I'm standing with you on that, okay?
Okay. All right. Just so we understand. Hey.
You got my back, I got yours, so.
That's a beautiful thing. So if you're tuned in and you're listening, this is the one and only Africa Allah. You are now tuned into Being Africa Allah right here on Discover Music Channel by Playmaster.today. Go ahead and chime in. Tell me what you think about the 5 questions that you should ask your partner if you are contemplating marriage. And I will go over them once again. My husband and I, DJ Trill, talked a little bit about our answers to those, but if you have additional questions that you wished that you had asked your significant other prior to marriage, go ahead and share those with us. First, is there anything that you or I are not willing to give up once we're married? Second, can you handle me doing things without you? 3, when conflict arose in your family, did your family use the silent treatment, calmly discuss disagreements, or slam doors? What is the most what's the most you'd be willing to spend on a lamp, pair of shoes, or a pair of jeans? If you were to have children, are you willing to change diapers at 3 a.m. and miss important meetings if your kid is sick? These are 5 questions that you should really talk about when preparing to get married and be in a lifelong committed relationship with someone else. Now, 10 things you need to know about marriage. Whew.
It's not for the faint of heart.
Here's a glimpse of what it's all about, all right? And this is the Matrimony chapter, by the way. So you guys, you're going to have I think we got about 7 episodes of this before we go into season 28. But season 27 is all about the matrimony. This is us introducing each other to the world, so that you guys can get familiar, get used to our conversations, and just
get used to this booking those phone.
Right.
The mouth of mine.
All right, so Marriage is hard work, but it's the best kind of work. Marriage requires intentional time, attention from both partners.
And lots of talking.
Right.
Yeah.
You'll have times that seem easy and effortless, and other times it requires energy. Oh God.
A whole lot of energy.
So do you feel at any point that I require a lot of energy? And at what points do you feel that?
I feel that sometimes when you start sighing and looking at the computer kind of hard, trying to figure things out, and I ask you what's going on. Nothing. Are you sure?
That's me working though.
Yeah. Babe, are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah, because people is getting on my nerves straight.
That's why I asked you when you start talking to yourself about people getting on your nerves.
Yeah, but that's totally different from you. Marriage takes compromise and respect on both sides.
Very, a whole lot of compromising.
People often say marriage is a two-way street. I like to think of it as a one-way street where you and your spouse are walking
With two lanes.
together in the same direction, finding common ground and respect for each other, especially if you disagree on the path. That's vital. Marriage does take compromise and respect. There have been times that I've been like, whew, boy, I can't call nobody because I am his and his responsibility. So I can't ask nobody for no favors. I can't do certain things that would have been a breeze to me in the past. I now have to think about his ego. I have to think about, our relationship.
I don't have an ego, do I?
Okay. All men have an ego.
I don't have an ego. I don't think.
Yeah. All men have an ego.
Okay, if you say
I
so.
know I have an ego.
You're not your typical woman, so.
Marriage. You plus me equals we.
Yep.
Marriage is two individuals who know themselves, likes, dislikes, stressors, etc., and continue to grow. When you grow as individuals and learn more about caring for each other, your marriage thrives. Marriage is you plus me equaling we.
That's why when you go to the store, you got to buy two.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, that's been coming. That's been coming. Ooh. That's been coming. Ooh. Yeah, that's funny.
I feel, listen, when we go to the store, I be like, don't you look at nothing, don't you ask for nothing, don't you touch that. It take me back.
Yeah, but when I go to the store, I'm always thinking, do we got water? Let me get two of these. Make sure she got one. Oh.
Marriage requires rearranging your priorities. Life is busy, and you're probably juggling all kinds of priorities, including work, family, friends, community service, self-care, etc. After you get married, you may have to rearrange some of those priorities. Friends may be a little low on your list. There are special considerations if you're already a parent and thinking about getting remarried or married for the first time. Preparing for marriage is great. So, requires rearranging your priorities. What are some priorities that you've rearranged?
Not spending a whole lot on shoes. Worry about everything else, but that come last.
Okay.
Clothes.
Well, I don't have no friends. I have no friends. I mean, I have friends. My friends are in
The Bahamas.
Atlanta. I travel to the Bahamas all the time for work, so that doesn't count. I mean, I didn't see them every day. I really don't like people, so, it's that.
How did that work? Please.
I like people, but I don't like them too much. Like when I'm around them, I'm like, "Ooh, yeah, this is great." And then I go home and I be like, "Oh God, that was a lot." I'm cool with being alone, but there's a difference of being alone and feeling isolated. And like one of my friends, Gigi, she will be flying into Fort Lauderdale for her birthday, on her way to Bimini for her birthday. So I'll get an opportunity to hang out with her, and I like her because she don't like too much. You know what I mean? She's like, okay, we can dance. All right, then I did my dance. Let's go. Now, as a person, I like to keep the body going, but for the most part, like I left everything, and it's not that I. It wasn't a question like I knew as as a as a child, as a child of a parent that was sick at one point, like when my mother was sick, I was with my mother. So I wouldn't tell my husband not to be with his mother. So it wasn't a thing for me to say, "Hey, I'm coming to you." You know, that wasn't like Atlanta wasn't that important to me. But the people in Atlanta, like my Tinos and the Gigis and the Tinas and people like that, they were important. But friendships travel across ponds and whatever. So I don't have a problem with that, but I am lonely. I am lonely.
You're
I
not.
am lonely, and I don't. I too old to be making new fucking friends, Dread.
You're not lonely. You got me. So stop that.
Yeah, but then when I want to do things,
I know you want to do
I
things.
want to go out. I want to go to the beach. I want to hang out and just chill, and
Okay, so let's see how the sun look today, and we'll go to the beach. How about that one?
that sounds great. But you are my only friend.
Well, that's how it's supposed to be. You're my only friend.
No, that sound like entrapment.
This is not no trap. Don't even
That's
go
what the man
there.
say. I'm your family. No, 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 no. Sit your ass down, boy.
All right, Kingpin. Y'all gotta excuse us. We watched this movie Echo last night, so
All right.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now. If you haven't watched it, you need to go watch it.
Marriage has seasons. Marriage changes like all relationships do. There are ups and downs, highs and lows, smooth and rough times. These seasons are natural and sometimes predictable. It doesn't necessarily mean something's wrong with your relationship. Seasons can be times of change and growth instead of trouble, depending on how you handle them. Again, marriage has seasons.
Yes, and you got to work at it. So
Right. Marriage has benefits,
lots and lots of benefits.
not just that one. Research shows that married people are healthier, happier, and wealthier. They're less likely to be depressed. And guess what? Healthy marriages also lead to healthier communities with better schools and lower crime rates.
I don't know about that last part.
Hey, that's what they say. I guess they're trying to run for office.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that's what they're trying to do, but that last part don't match.
marriage requires skills. For marriage to flourish, over time, you'll need a variety of skills. Communication helps you understand your partner, know when to listen and when to speak. Problem solving skills help you work together to manage complicated situations. If these tools aren't your strong points, we've got some great resources to help you find out. All right? So,
I don't know about the resources, so
basically, you know what? Like, I'm fucking great. I'm great.
you should know that.
Over the course of the last 18 years, I've had the opportunity to work with problematic clients, stubborn people, and just real assholes. And I've been able to work with them, learn how to communicate with them, find ways to resolve conflict without going to jail. Thank God. And so I think that having used those skills and bringing them into our relationship, I think that I'm well prepared to deal with the required skills that it takes to be in a relationship. Now, one of the challenges is helping you learn and adopt those same skills so that we could communicate effectively. And that is where the challenge lies. But if you are familiar with conflict resolution, then we should be A-okay.
We'll be all right. We'll
Now,
be okay. But that
beware-
is working, though. I'm not going to lie.
Beware of unrealistic expectations. Many couples enter marriage with unrealistic and unspoken expectation on topics like sex, money, and how they'll spend their alone time together. Talking with your spouse goes a long way towards minimizing issues that can come from unrealistic expectations.
Hold up. You reading from a cue card?
Yeah,
I ain't getting no cue card. What's going on over here?
I'm the host.
Oh,
You're
excuse-
a guest host.
Oh, excuse me then.
you feed off.
I just thought about that. How you reading off a cue card and I'm over here sitting here?
You're feeding off of my energy,
Well,
as we always do at this time.
yeah, we always do. Continue, please.
Marriage is impacted by your family. No matter where you live, your family affects your marriage. For better or worse, they read. Look at that. God don't even want me to say that. Look. Whew. Let's go back. Marriage is impacted by your family. No matter where you live, your family affects your marriage. For better or worse, they raised you and influence who you are. Some of the things that get on your nerves will probably be habits that started in the homes you grew up in. Remember, this isn't blaming anyone, but it's just so you can be aware. Marriage is impacted by your family. Listen, I get some triggers.
I see that.
I have some triggers. Marriage.
What trigger is that?
Ooh. Marriage is a daily choice. After you get married, you choose every day to stay married. You get to show your spouse how much you value and love them daily through words and actions. Even if you have a hard day, remember that you are going to start over and choose each other again. Can you give hope and strength? I hope this list does not deter you. Marriage is all of these things, but it's so much more. Marriage is fun.
Yeah, it is. It's fun.
You know what? Okay, so in the last part of this show, I just want to say that I am happy. I enjoy being married.
That's good.
I didn't think, no, I don't know. I didn't have any expectations for marriage, but I definitely enjoy being married. I feel more lady now. Prior to, and I think I spoke about this.
All right,
last
MC Light
episode.
Jr.
Last episode, I talked about this a little bit, but prior to, I just felt like I was responsible for so much things, and I just had to take on this masculine role. And now I can shed all of that and actually be a lady and be the feminine creature that I am.
I'm not going to say nothing about that.
It's funny. I remember my best friend said, "You are hard rock, but like teddy bears." Talk about, "Ooh, let me bake you this teddy bear cake." son. And I find myself cooking and baking and just like really excited about doing wifely duties. And I'm like, okay. But yeah, I definitely enjoy it. But I do, wish I had some friends in this city that I don't really like. So that's it.
Don't be putting the city down like that. Come on.
Well, I have to give it a chance. Give it a chance. I make this world for you. All right, so this has been yours truly, Africa Law. This is Being Africa Law right here on Discover Music Channel by Playmaster.today. You can check us out on Spotify, iHeart, and so many more locations. But we encourage you to subscribe to The Vibe. Visit us at Discover Music Channel by Playmaster.today on Playmaster.today. Subscribe. $3 subscription helps us continue to create great content and travel around the world and share culture with you. All right? Trill.
Yes, ma'am.
Any last words?
Yeah, thank you.